Line 10. Oh.
Live from the Buzz Acoustic Den in Nashville, Tennessee. That's how it all started, yeah. And not by any of our doing, it just kind of happened.
No, we were afraid to do it. We thought, we can't do that. That's impossible.
A bunch of sissies. But Waylon, thank you so much for making the drive all the way down from Michigan, playing for beer. And that is She Lights It Up from their release that you can get on iTunes right now. Waylon, W-A-Y-L-A-N-D. New stuff beginning of December. Also appearing at the Red Rooster tonight in Nashville, part of the Buzz Rock Girls Final. So if you're in and around Nashville, come on out and see that. Joe, without further ado, my friend, bring him in. That's right. Headed for destruction and welcoming in the one and only Jesse James Dupree. Welcome to the Freezer and Howie Show, my friend.
Welcome to Dixieland, fellas.
Oh, man. Love it. Good to see you, Jesse.
Got y'all some grits this morning.
You're darn right. You're darn right. Marshall, everything cool? We good? Okay, good. Jackal is appearing in and around where the Freeburn Highway Show is heard in Libertyville, Illinois on the 25th of November. You can get them in Flint, Michigan, the world-famous Machine Shop on December 10th. Yeah, that is a legendary place. And then it's a tour of Michigan because the next night you're in Traverse City at Ground Zero. Yep. And Waylon, you guys have played there, Ground Zero. And then
way up there.
Yeah, it is. And then back to Grand Rapids for Waylon's unofficial home, the Intersection in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So very good. Welcome to the show.
I expect that next day you guys will be calling in absent.
Yeah,
it's possible. It is possible.
Now, or we'll just all go straight to the station from the show that night and just pour ourselves onto the microphone.
Just kind of slink in.
So Jesse, what's going on in your world? What's happening with Jesse James Dupree from Jackal?
It's all kinds of stuff. We've got just recently wrapped shooting the third season of the Full Throttle Saloon.
Right.
Which is the reality show that we do on True Television
yep.
and up in Sturgis, South Dakota, the legendary motorcycle. I got to get you guys up there.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
You guys should come and broadcast from up there next
That's
year.
a mainstay for you guys. Every year, you have to be part of the landscape at Sturgis.
Oh yeah, it's become a annual pilgrimage that everyone makes up there. But we're going into our third season on True Television. Airs November 30th. And I think we've got a great season lined up for everyone. Every year, every episode last year was in the top 3, most of the time in the top 3 out of all the cable networks for the ratings and such. So I mean, this show's been well received. For every one person that goes to Sturgis, there's 1,000 now that get to go vicariously through the show and kind of check out the insanity up there. But that and Jackal's been touring. We had this past year we put out when Moonshine and Dynamite Collide, the last album that we put out. So we've been out touring behind it. Just had a great summer. What else have I got going on? I'm launching a Jesse James bourbon here in the next couple of weeks. It's America's Outlaw bourbon.
No kidding. You're living the dream, man.
You wake up every day and take as big a bite out of life's ass as you possibly can. and I'm working with East Bridge. What about my boys Wade?
That's the thing.
No good sorry sons of bitches. Contribute to the delinquency of yet another rock and roll band. So this one happens to be really great. I mean, these guys are. I heard about them several years back. I started working with Jude Cole. Jude Cole and Kiefer Sutherland were best friends and partners in a company called Ironworks, a record label called Ironworks, because Jude and Keith were both just extremely passionate about music and sick of the major label, throwing stuff against the wall to see if it would stick. So they going back to doing what was called artist development, back in the days when bands were building careers instead of just trying to pop one-hit wonders out. And Jude was calling me up because I'm still based down in Atlanta, just right down the road here. But Jude was calling me up saying, "Man, I've just come across these sick dudes that are that are out here, and just kicking ass."
Still in LA.
Yeah, they were at the time. They were in LA. I mean, they don't know what's good for them, so they're out there in the land of the lost, you know, with all those jelly beans that don't have no their ass from a hole in the ground. Yeah.
So he just calls you out of the blue and says, "Here they are."
But yes, and Jude says, I think I'm going to, kind of wrap up around these guys and see where their head is. But he calls back and he goes, after thinking about it, he goes, I'm going to tell them to get the hell out of LA, and I'm sending them back to Michigan, where they, back where there's real rock and roll. It's about in the Midwest, because you can go from Michigan all the way down through the Southland here, and down into Texas. And so, I mean, there's still people.
It's amazing how different people think in different parts of the country.
Yeah, there's people in Los Angeles and in California, Los Angeles and New York. We'd say bless their hearts.
We know what that
That's
means.
what we say. Bless their hearts. But so the guys did just that. They packed up and moved out to Michigan there. And the next thing I know, just ironically, you guys put your finger on them.
It was the weirdest scenario how we got started.
Bill calls up. He goes, "Well, man, we met. There's a really sick radio show up here." He said they're kind of like perverted. They're weird. Sometimes they look at us and make us feel dirty. But he said, and I said, "Who is it?" And he goes, "Freebird." I went, "No way." So, but it was really cool. I mean, because and he didn't know at the time. I mean, you guys get the credit. I mean, if people ask me what is some of the greatest Jackal shows you've ever had, that stands out in your mind, Woodstock '94. When the stage turned around, there's a million people in front of you. It's just a surreal sea of people, or touring, doing the Rock and Ring over in Europe, with 80,000+ Europeans and such. But one of the things at the top of the list is when you guys bring us in and they paired Jackal with Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
It was a crazy lineup last summer.
The Big Daddy know-it-all behind the scenes, JT, calls. He goes, I got this really crazy idea. And I said, "What's that?" And I hear crazy idea. We'd like for you to come in, and promoting your new album. We'd like for you to come in and stand in front of a car wash with a clown outfit on. Or, you hear strange ideas.
Sure. Yeah.
But this one was, we want you guys to come in, and we're going to produce a big festival outside. Everybody's going to go crazy. It's going to be huge. And he's beating around. I'm going, "Get to it. Okay, that doesn't sound crazy." "Well, it's going to be you guys and Jackal and Snoop Dogg." And I go, "Okay, all right." So,
you were down. It turned into quite a pair because the guy is such a character. He's such a personality, and he's incredibly talented.
But I mean, was that not off the chart?
Yeah, it was.
It was one of the best shows we've ever played.
When we came up with it, we're like, our show is one. That show was supposed to be reflective of what we want our audience to be, because we like our show. We like to, since we don't play music,
smoke a lot of dope.
We like to say that we can grab audience members from who listen to different styles of music. So the acts were supposed to reflect the basic premise of our show. Everybody's invited. So that was the thing.
I thought it was really smart though. See, you guys are always thinking, because before Snoop Dogg goes on, it was no question that they were going to be bringing him in a bag of requested, party supplies.
There was plenty of that.
So what they did was they brought in about 5 cars from different directions, so the police didn't really know which one had the stash.
Right, which one smoking a whole lot of.
Yeah, and then kind of find out, it wasn't in any cars, because Zane was just dipping out of his own personal
Sure,
stash.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was quite an event. And now, so when this band joined on with the show, and we kind of joined forces in this, it's kind of a weird way.
The story though, Snoop was a little freaked out, because when you handed it to the bag to him in the shower.
Oh, yeah. We're back to that,
He was thinking, "Don't look down."
But these guys came on the show. They came on because another local band had dropped a disc off.
Right.
They were called Absinthe, and they brought food and a CD.
Right.
And we weren't interested, but we said, "You know what? We've heard so many times local bands say you never play music of local artists." We said, "All right, screw you. We're going to play it." Except what they didn't know was what we were going to do, because we ate the food that they brought, put the disc in, and then we roasted them. We made fun of it viciously. And then this was the birth of this short-lived bit called the Lose-Lose Local Music Review. Right. So we beat the hell out of this band. We said everything terrible about them. And then they sent us texts and emails saying, "We love that. That was great for us." We said, what state of radio do we live in where back 20 years ago, they would say thank you for playing our music. Now they say thank you for beating the whole piss out of us.
Yeah. Thanks at least for the attention.
These reality shows, I think, you've conditioned us for
that too. So good for us, bad for you. So we then threw out this idea, and so bands started bringing us food. And this local band called Gunner and the Grizzly Boys brought us food by on the same day that Waylon brought it by. And we're thinking, who are these jerks? I mean, Phil shows up with his crazy long hair. I didn't know what he was trying to be, like Robert Plant or something. Turns out he's not even the singer. And then they give us the sausage sandwich and their stupid CD. We take it home, we listen to it. I right away, I have no music, I can't really sense what's good or bad. I listen to the whole thing. The whole thing's terrible. One song's okay. We played it on the air. Yeah, this song's fair. The rest sucks. Get out of here. Killed him. JT, the boss, we said, hey, we introduced him to him. He did not want anything to do with these guys. He said, yeah, thanks, see ya, bye. We treated them terribly. And it went all over their heads. They didn't, not a bit of it stuck. They were smiling the whole time. Yeah. 2 weeks later goes by, Jesse calls the program director. We have no idea there's any connection. And says, hey, boy, this band, and he tips off JT. Well, now his ears are perked. And he comes in the office, he goes, hey, what about that band, Waylon? I go, yeah, whatever. And he goes, and so I go, well, here's the CD. This one song's pretty good. Now, JT has a good musical sense about him, so he listened to the disc, didn't tip his hand, but he loved it. Brings these guys in, lo and behold, man, the most requested band on the radio station for the past 6 months.
That's great.
And here they are, playing for beer.
Great thing these days when you can see young bands that are active in their own rescue, because I mean so many of them, and I know from experience, so many bands, they think that they especially when they're as talented as these guys, a lot of bands just think that they're entitled to someone coming up and having all your making all your dreams come true just because you deserve it, But to be able to get out and do what they're doing and building it one town at a time. I mean that's the way I had to come up, And Jackal never was the flavor of the day, and we were just straight up, because at the time we came out, alternative music was popping and kicking, and we just went out and just never stopped touring, and did whatever felt great to us, and that's something that you can't deny or you cannot take away from a band. And what these guys are validating is that when they get out there, and whether they're in Michigan or they go down to Indiana or Illinois or wherever they're out touring, and right now that's what's great, because now from going back to Michigan, where I got to say that Michigan is just, it's home of Ted Nugent, and I mean just so much great rock and roll comes out, and to find whether it's Nashville, Tennessee, which is a huge music town, and people still love to support music and live music at that. So you start drawing a line between, say, Nashville and Michigan, and you start filling in the blanks, and the next thing you know you got to play in arenas and spreading some great music. So.
Well, Jesse, we can't thank you enough, man. It's always great to get back in touch with you, and we can only look forward to more great things as we check
out Full Throttle November 30th, man. It's good to see you guys.
Loving that.
Absolutely.
This is James Dupree from Jackal. Is in the building.